Hello, welcome everybody. Hi, welcome, welcome, and a very special welcome to our new author, Linda Murphy. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Miriam. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yes, we are celebrating you today. Please share with everybody the title of your book.
My book is Ollie's Cave of Treasures, which is officially launching today on Earth Day. And I'll talk about why I chose that date.
Yes. Well, first, please tell us what inspired you to write Ollie's Cave of Treasures.
A few things, Miriam. One is I noticed how we collect more than we truly need without even realizing it, how it just sneaks up on us. I also, notice how we're living in a world, children and adults, that constantly tells us more is better.
Mm.
I feel like we almost need a little armor to protect ourselves against that. And as a prior educator, I noticed how children tie their self-worth often to their possessions. And I wanted to put something out there that, gently pushed back on that message. And I also, the reason why I love the ocean, I'm fortunate enough to live by the beach now, all year round. That wasn't always the case. I'm very environmentally conscious, and I think that we need to protect our environment and our oceans, and all that really is tied into, what we accumulate.
Mhm. Well, 100% agree with everything that you're saying. And I
Mhm.
love that you put that message hidden into this fun book. So please tell everybody, what is the book about and who would you say that it's for?
Okay. So Ollie's Cave of Treasures is about letting go of stuff in order to make room for what truly matters. Of course, it's for young readers, primarily ages 4 to 8, but for parents, grandparents, teachers, and librarians as well. And the story follows Ollie, a young octopus who fills his cave with treasures as he's, going about his busy life in the ocean. But as his space becomes crowded, he notices that it has an effect on him. Um, and I feel like the story gently, helps kids discover what's truly matters, but in a fun, like beautifully illustrated underwater world.
Yes, I 100% agree with you. And I love that you said it gently shows children this because, I mean, we know children's books have to be about entertaining children. This book does it, the colors, illustrations, the story, and then there's that gentle message there. What is it that you hope that parents and kids take away from this book?
So, the I hope that children just have a sense of awareness. Honestly, all of us, to just have a little more intentionality about what we're filling our environments with. Because, there's all sorts of proven research about how too much clutter in our space honestly affects us emotionally. It hurts our focus and concentration and different things. Sometimes we can't even name that, but it does have an effect on us. Um, and I hope that for parents that an open space to have a conversation with their child without pressure or judgment. Not like telling, saying you can't have this or whatever. I would love for them to decide what's truly important and what they want, to surround themselves with. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, so the goal isn't to tell children to get rid of things, but to just like be more aware of enough of what is enough, and how our environments make us feel.
Love that. Love that. And do you want to share? I mean, I can see why you chose
Mm,
Earth Day to
mm,
launch your
mm.
book. Is there anything else you want to share about that?
I would love to. Thanks for that. Yeah, so as I was writing, probably for over a decade, I have been like an advocate for the environment. Um, and I'm hoping that this book just raises awareness to that because there is a proven, measurable chain reaction between consumerism and environmental harm, especially to our ocean. A lot of garbage and plastic and waste ends
Mhm.
up inadvertently in our ocean. So, learning to value what we already have, um, it doesn't just help us emotionally, but it actually helps our planet, helps protect
Yes.
the planet.
Yes. Well, thank you for sharing that, Linda. And I'm so glad that you have written such a beautiful book
Thank
to
you.
bring more awareness, to enjoy it with our children. And here is that book. Friends, today is book launch day. Make sure to go to Amazon, get and purchase a copy or two copies of this book. I have the soft cover. Linda's got the hardcover with her, and then it's also there in ebook format. So today is the day. Grab this book, share it on Earth Day with the children in your lives. So, Linda, I want to ask you a little bit about your journey into becoming an
Mhm.
author.
Okay.
First of all, how long have you been thinking or had a dream of being an author for?
To be honest, it wasn't for decades. It was only after I retired
Hmm.
in 2020 from education. And I thought that, I wanted to put out messages, and I think children's picture books, I kind of stumbled upon that. I was
Mm,
looking possibly at a older age group. But then it became like this magical world. Because my children are in their early 30s and I have been out of like this space for a while. But as soon as I discovered it, I was like, oh, it's so magical, right?
yes.
And I thought, children, what a lovely time to like introduce an idea, right?
Hmm.
Because I feel
Yeah.
like that's when it will really stick. And as they grow up, they'll develop that. But to try to tell them and teach them later is a little more difficult.
You're
So,
right.
yeah, so I just thought like I love that it's not preachy or, scolding in any way. And it's just, hey, let's be aware of what we're bringing into our lives.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. So, what would you say was the biggest challenge when writing this book?
Probably that I thought, oh wow, children's books, like what, could be easier.
Hmm.
No, there is a lot that goes into it. Yeah, and I have much more of an appreciation, for the whole industry, world, children's, the whole process, the publishing process, everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, so, but I loved learning about it and it's like a world where I want to stay.
Hmm. Yes. Linda, it's so interesting that you say that. I think a
Yeah.
lot of times people think, oh, it's easy to write a children's book. How hard can it be? 32 pages, under 1,000 words. But every word matters. Every word matters, especially because we only have their attention for so long. So, again, I want to say you did a wonderful job with this book. I look forward to my grandbaby being home and sharing it with her. And she's only 2, but I know she's going to love everything about the book, the story, the illustrations. And I know your children or grandchildren, I'm talking to
Yeah.
everybody right now, is going to enjoy this book. So I know that also writing a children's book, doing something for the first time, there's also lessons, not just the challenges. So, what was the biggest lesson for you in the publishing process?
Hmm. Okay, so the biggest lesson, understanding, I guess, how children's stories really can carry powerful messages.
Hmm.
Like I'm very impressed in a sense
Hmm.
because
Yeah,
sometimes people can discount, you know, children's books in a sense. Oh, they're cute, they're this, they're that. But they really can, and now, like as I've read a lot more children's books in this process to learn, like what did I want to do? You realize how many powerful messages there are in children's.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Great awareness there. So, I love the illustrations in your book. What was it like to work with your illustrator? And please share her name.
Casey Barton, who is an amazing young woman. She's
Mhm.
based in the United States. She couldn't have been better with me. Like now that I think about it, I realize that all the things I asked her to do, I was probably stretching it, and she was so accommodating. I worked through your agency recommendation, and just truly, it was. I couldn't even imagine the book. Like, I mean, I could, but what they can do is incredible. They really
Mhm.
do. It really is a co-process.
Definitely.
Yeah, they bring your
Definitely.
book to life. And
Yeah.
I'm so appreciative of her and finding her and amazingly talented. I highly recommend her for her, not only her technical skills, but just her ability and professionalism in working with me.
Yeah. Beautiful book,
Mm, mm,
fun colors all
mm.
throughout. So now what is the best part of accomplishing this dream for you, Linda?
Oh, I'm just feeling like so incredibly proud that,
Mhm.
that I did it, that I accomplished it because so many times we don't follow through,
Mhm.
right, on our goals. And you really taught me a lot in your program, about believing in myself and knowing that I could do it. So even your book, right, with shredding all those doubts. And, I just
Mm.
loved that story from the very beginning. I think maybe you hooked me there.
Yeah, that's so great. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Well, you did it. I want to tell you, you did
Mm,
it. And I'm so glad that you're proud of yourself because
mm,
it does take effort, right? Whenever
mm,
we go for a new goal, accomplishing something new, it takes
mm,
effort and it takes commitment. And here we are today now celebrating your book launch. So now being on the other side, Linda,
mm.
what piece of advice do you have for an aspiring author who may be watching the interview?
So for aspiring authors, definitely, be patient with yourself in the process, right? Because writing a book isn't just the book, like we grow so much in that process. And I guess believing you're going to get there, you know, believing in yourself. And again, with the I can't book and stuff, yeah, believe in yourself and move forward, action, right? Because I was a habitual overthinker. I wanted to
Right.
have
Yeah.
everything figured out, and you just have to move forward, but in an organized path, of course, right? But
Yes.
take action.
Good advice, France. I hope you're listening. Definitely believe in yourself, take action, move forward, all the important things to get you to the finish line. So, today, of course, we want everybody, Earth Day, please go get a copy of this book. Go to Amazon today, grab a copy of the book. I love the hardcover, the way that looks, also. I've got the soft one here.
Mhm.
Besides going to Amazon, where else can our viewers find you?
So, of course, there's a link on my website, lindamurphybooks.com, and they can also find me on Facebook and Instagram, also at Linda Murphy Books.
Excellent. Okay. And before we go, Linda, is there anything else you'd like to share or anything that you wish I would have asked you?
Um, okay, so the first is that I am proud that a portion of the book proceeds are going to go to support literacy through an organization called Empower Literacy and Beyond. They're a national program, and I am proud to be part of that effort to increase literacy rates. We have to have our children learn to love reading early.
Yes.
And that's why I commend your efforts in this space with having already published more than 250 books. Um, and really just a shout out to your whole team. Every
Mm.
single person that I dealt with truly was so professional. Um, from my author coach Karen to Samantha, Allison, Julie, Samara, every single one, and I hope I'm not forgetting anyone, was truly professional. You have an amazing team. And happy birthday, Julia.
Look at you, Linda. Yes, happy birthday to Julia. She will be watching this. Linda, that's so wonderful. Well, I appreciate your serving and giving heart. Friends, proceeds are going to a portion of the book proceeds supports literacy through Empower Literacy and Beyond. I'm reading from the back. So
Mm,
thank you, Linda. This has been such a pleasure interviewing you. Again, I want to celebrate you. You did it. You are a
thank,
children's book author and have a beautiful book now to share with the world.
thank you, Miriam.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We'll see you very soon. Bye bye.
I now.